And we're live. Ryan, how are you, my friend?
Doing right. Right at 9 o'clock. That was pretty nice.
Damn. Holy crap, I thought that we were going to be like a few minutes late.
Yeah, that was great. I'm doing all right. Busy week. Had a long day today. I had to lead a meeting for about 120 people at work. And talking by myself straight for 2 hours. And my wife was like, and you're going to get live with Flip tonight too, man? How does your voice not die?
Dude, I got the COVID vaccine, like I was telling you off air. And I felt fine for the first, say, 8 hours. Little headache. And then I couldn't sleep. I had a fever. I still have a fever actually right now. I feel awful. I don't know if you could tell, but my sleep schedule is so fucked. I went to bed at like 9 last night, which is the earliest I've ever gone to sleep ever. And woke up at 2 in the morning, 2:30, watched Major Dundee, the extended cut, and then was like, wow, I'm really bored now. I need to go back to bed. Major Dundee. And that's not a slight to Major Dundee. I think that movie's good. It's just what did they film that movie with? How did they film that movie? Because it's like
I don't remember on that one.
Like parts of it look like garbage. Is it like Cinescope or any of those like weird gimmicky things that they were doing?
Yeah, it could be. I do have, if you want me to grab it, I've got the imprint release of it right there.
Yes, please. Show me what that looks like, because that thing, it's a big box, right?
I've actually, it is a larger box than normal. I've been saving watching this one because I still don't have my Arrow version of that in yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me pop the plastic on this.
Now, have you seen that before?
This is one of those ones where I think I have, but I'm not entirely sure. Like the name itself is so familiar, it could just be I recognize the name, but I believe I watched it because my whole family was so fucked up. I grew up like passed around from family members for a long time. And I spent a lot of time with my great-grandfather, who was heavily into movies just like this.
Awesome.
Grew up watching all kinds of Westerns, all kinds of war movies. This is a nice release. Okay. So here is the imprint version. And it is an actual pop-top box.
Now it comes with two versions?
Theatrical version and extended version, just like the Arrow version. There is the listing.
Hello, small man and big man, says 0.
Spy number 11 for them.
Oh, they're
small man and big man.
They're doing that too?
The spy numbers? Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
The big thing about imprint that I really wish every company would do, you don't have any imprint yet, right?
Not a single one. I
so
thought
check
about
this
the
out.
Noir set, but...
so they have the spine numbers at the bottom, but then at the top of every spine, they have the year that the movie was released.
That's cool. That is very nice.
It is very cool.
What's going on, buddy? Now, no, you haven't seen. I would want to see if they use the same transfer as Arrow. Not that it's bad. It's just
this is 2-disc set, including a 4K scan of the extended version undertaken by Sony Pictures. And since it's Sony, I guarantee you it's the exact same transfer.
I mean, it's a good movie. It's just because I think that's a movie that Peck and Paul did before The Wild Bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see a lot of what The Wild Bunch could have been.
Yeah, this is 65, so I think so.
And yeah, dude, it's just it's weird because Peck and Paul is one of my favorite directors, only for like 2 movies. Like Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia and The Wild Bunch are like my 2 favorite Peck and Paul films, and they're so good. But yeah, it's just that film I have like mixed feelings. It's long, it's really long. And what's his name? Who's the main actor? The guy from Planet of the Apes?
Charlton Heston.
I don't think he can act. I think he's terrible.
Oh no, he is a god awful actor.
Terrible, like just fucking.
He is like he is John Wayne without any acting training.
Or yeah, he's like John Wayne without any charisma.
Exactly.
At all. And I'm just watching. I'm like, can he just shut the fuck up already? There is a character who has 1 arm. That's actually pretty rad in the movie. But yeah, overall, lukewarm. I think I gave it a 3 out of 5.
See the way they did this box, little triangle cut out too.
Now, is that every box is like that?
Wow. Actually, yes, it is.
That is pretty cool. It's a
very interesting, really nice art too.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. I like that art maybe just as much as the Arrow one.
So I don't know if this is the same as the Arrow one, but it says the extended version got a new 4K scan from Sony, but the original theatrical cut is only a 1080p presentation.
Huh.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Do you want to talk about pickups this week?
I actually I haven't opened it yet. I actually have an unboxing I can do right here.
Do it, dude. Go ahead and start unboxing while I talk about my first one.
Go ahead.
Speaking of Sam Peckinpah, picked up this triple pack. John Wayne's The Searchers, How the West Was Won, and then The Wild Bunch. 2 G-rated westerns, and then a hard R movie. This makes no sense, but I was looking for The Wild Bunch, and this was like $10, and I was like, yeah, I don't have the other two. Searchers is all right, but man, what a weird thing to bundle together. These 3 movies. It makes 0 sense to me. And then I got Arrow's. The rest are from Orbit. I got Arrow's, The Tale of Two Sisters.
Nice.
I don't know if you have this, but the rose petals are like embossed. I don't know if you can see that.
Ooh, yeah.
Super nice. This is like a really nice slipcase. I'm gonna watch this tonight with the wife. Hopefully, she's in a horror mood, and I think that would scratch the itch. Then we got Deadlock, my only Vinegar Syndrome adjacent film in my collection, because this is a new label. It's
Subculture, I believe.
Subculture. Yep. So this is a Western. I've never heard of it before.
And it's in true 4K.
And it's in that dude, what the fuck? What? That just blows my mind that this is a 4K release. I do like this art a lot more.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's nice.
Really cool. I think Master Chaos, I don't know if you follow him on YouTube.
Yep.
He did a review and he said it's now one of his favorite films of all time.
Wow.
So I was like, damn, okay. And then I got 88 Films is Violent Professionals.
Very nice.
Nice hardbound case. It says so on the Code. Is it Code Red releasing? They're the Code Red version of
the old one, yeah.
It just says HD transfer with color correction. This says new 2K transfer of the film from the original camera negative. So I'm gonna guess this looks better.
Oh, guaranteed.
It comes with a poster. It comes with a book. It has like different poster galleries from when the movie was coming out in Japan and all these other countries. But yeah, this is a pretty awesome release. I do like that new artwork though. And then they will be releasing the Tough Ones, which Grindhouse did a release of, and I'm tempting to like sell those 2 USA copies or US Region A copies. Your mic's muted, by the way. Did you mean? There you go. Okay.
No, my headset disconnected.
So that's all I picked up this week. What'd you get?
Let me see if I can get this connected again. Is that coming through?
Yeah, you're coming.
Wrong one though. Hold on, let me see.
Oh, Liam, I picked up an Audio Technica LP 120. Cost me around $350.
There we go.
My old vinyl player speaker wire growing old and short. I just got my wife a new record player too, because she loves vinyl. So
I'm super jealous of that. I want a new Audio Technica real bad. All right, so this literally just the first time I've seen what is even in this. I just got this in from Diabolic. I don't know what was holding this one up, but I got the Headhunter from 101 Films. Have you heard of this one?
No, I have not.
I think you might actually like this one. This is similar to the movie that we're talking about tonight, actually. And this is the big thing on this, if I remember the number right, I think this whole movie was shot for $15,000.
$15,000?
$15,000. And it's literally either like 1 or 2 or 3 people in it, the entire movie. I streamed it on Shudder. It is fantastic. It is a very similar style to what we're talking tonight in terms of period piece, sort of horror adjacent, sort of creature type, and really, really good on the set pieces. But a really engaging movie. And the best thing that you're going to love, 72 minutes.
Perfect. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. And for the budget, it doesn't really get better than that at all. What's going on? All that is man. The second one I got in, I am stoked to watch this, especially in 4K. I got in 2 Evil Eyes from Blue Underground. This
Nice.
is the dual Argento and George A. Romero directed film. Super fun one. I think this is the one that was holding it back for some reason. And I believe some people got this autographed by a couple people from the movie, but mine was not lucky enough for that. I got in anything for Jackson. This was a Shudder exclusive. And then the last one, which is going to be your favorite in this entire stack, guaranteed, I finally got in the Warner Archive Drunken Master 2.
Hey, that's an okay movie.
Yeah.
I like that movie. It's got some
Gotta
guy
love
named
Jackie.
Jackie Chan. He's got a
I've heard
sister.
of him.
So that's it? That's all you got?
In that one, let's see. What else? Gosh. I have this other stack that also came in. Speaking of imprint, I've just realized we were just talking about them. And one that just came in from them is The Deep. For some reason, I've been into sorry, that was out of order. I've been super into underwater horror this year, so I'm stoked to watch this one. I can't remember if I've seen this one or not. But my wife loves, like, what is that Kino one that came out that we just watched? Deep Rising.
Yes.
Let's see. There's actually some ones that you're gonna love in here that I know that you like. I got Eureka's Wild Search.
Hey, that's an amazing movie.
Exactly. Stoked to watch that one. That's Chow Yun-Fat. And then your other big one.
That's a great
Millionaire's
movie.
Express.
Make sure you watch the ultimate cut. There's 4 versions of the film on there.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's like the theatrical, the Hong Kong, and
Wow,
then
yeah.
the extended, and then one that combines every scene from all of them.
And that's a thick boy release too.
Yeah, it's got a nice double-sided poster on it. It's just awesome.
And the last one that came in that package, and I believe this is it for the week, I got in Silent Action from Sergio Leone.
Now
this is Fractured Visions. This is their first release. They just put out their second one, I believe. Lose.
Yeah, they put out like a new movie, right?
I think so, yeah.
I really like that movie. I think the release is all right. They DNR'd it though. So if you're okay with that, it's easy to look over. But at first I was like, oh man. But
well, it's the first HD release of this movie, and it's a Martino, so I'm curious, since this is the first HD, I wonder if there was something wrong with the elements and they kind of had to DNR it.
Do you want to talk about some big announcements that hit our
Was
way?
there big announcements this week? I have no idea.
Huge announcements. I was really surprised. Let's go ahead and let's talk about this here. Let's get this full screen. Citizen Kane 4K. Now we were guessing, what was it, last week? How much the 4Ks were going to cost.
Yep.
And I was saying 60. I could see 70. But these seem reasonably priced.
Not only reasonably priced, the fact that these are coming out in November, which means they will likely be during the Barnes & Noble 50% off sale, they are cheaper than most other 4Ks, especially on release.
Which is, I think this artwork sucks. They could have really done something better than 60.
And I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, you like the minimalistic look to it?
I'm not going to say I love the minimalistic look, but I do think it's striking, and I think it fits the film very well, especially considering it's from the credits at the very beginning. That's the exact place where the K was taken from. But other than that, you can't tell me that that is not going to be sticking out like a sore thumb on the Barnes & Noble shelves come November.
Yes, it is. And I saw some memes that people were going to arrange 3 of them in a row, KKK, every single sale. And I'm like, yeah. That's going to end up happening. But this is awesome. I'm not a big fan of the movie. I think Citizen Kane is overrated. But the other 2 4Ks, Mulholland Drive, which
this is a big one.
$40. That's
no, 50 for the 4K.
Oh, is it discounted right now?
It's going to be $49.96. So when it comes out, it'll be $25.
Okay, which is, $25 for this movie on 4K. This is
on
a great
release.
movie.
Yeah,
this is a great film. Is there any? Doesn't look like there's a lot of special features though on this one.
It is identical to the Blu-ray release. There's nothing new on it.
Okay, and then we got La Strada, which I think Fellini sucks, but Here we are. Now, this isn't 4K. This is just a regular release. Was this in the box set?
Yes, it was.
So are they just going to... So I know they lost the rights to a few of the films in the box set. Are they just going to re-release the ones that they have the rights still?
I don't know that they're going to re-release. I think the whole point is that they had released quite a few of Fellini's before the box set came out. And so for the people that did not want to buy the box set because they already had like a third of the movies, they're going to keep putting out the ones that they can, I'm sure.
And then what's the other one? And then one more 4K.
This is the big 4K I'm looking forward to.
I'm so pumped for this movie, dude. This movie is incredible. I love the packaging. Do they show it? Yeah, right here. Look at this.
Yeah.
That's so good.
It is one of the best packaging that I've seen from Criterion in probably a year or more.
It reminds me of the Parasite one where everyone was like, oh, that's ugly. And then when you pulled it out, it's the Braille or the Morse code. Sorry, Morse code. I really like that between this and Deep Cover, they're really like highlighting some really good like black cinema.
Oh, and then if the box set coming out in December, obviously that's December, right?
Yes. And then, but my favorite thing that we can talk about.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
So someone that I know messaged me and said, hey, Criterion's going to release Once Upon a Time in China box set. I said, no way. I could not see them doing it. And I messaged you and you were like, can't see them doing it. And I was like, I can't see it either. But lo and behold, here we are. This box set, I don't know what to do with my fucking Eureka one again, man. Like, now the Eureka one was pretty bare bones. It only had 1, 2, 3, and it had kind of like what this does, because this is all 6 movies. They're only advertising the first 5, and then if you go down to special features, Once Upon a Time in America, Once Upon a Time in China, and America, and a 2K digital transfer. So they're not really giving it that much special treatment, but this reminds me a lot of the Lone Wolf and Cub set, where most of the movies are directed by one director, except for one, and it's usually the one that people like the least is not directed by Choi Hark. Yeah, this is awesome. I think the price is good. I mean, for $50 on the 50% off sale, that's a pretty good bargain.
I agree, especially for 6 movies.
Yeah, 6 movies. And then the big thing, though, is 4K digital restorations of the first 2 and a new 2K digital restorations of 4 and 5.
Right.
So it's loaded with special features, deleted scenes, documentary, making of, and then Once Upon a Time in China and America. So I'm super pumped for this. This is a mind-blowing announcement. It feels like, and we talked about this, I feel like Criterion's trying to catch up with Eureka with some of the Asian stuff, because they did Throwdown. They did Throwdown by Johnny To, and now they're doing this. This looks incredible. This might end up actually being my favorite release of the year. I love these films. And if there's no problems with the discs, no problems with the encodes, it looks like every movie gets its own disc.
Right, which I am very surprised by.
Yeah, there's 6 discs. So the special features plus China and America with a nice book too. Super pumped. Now, do you think this is going to be like the Bruce Lee set, or is it going to be like the Lone Wolf and Cub set?
I see it more being like the Bruce Lee set, unfortunately. But
yeah,
either way, it's getting the treatment. It is getting from a company that I did not expect, that's going to put the time and energy to doing it right, it sounds like. And the packaging looks really good. Even if it is just the thin cardboard, that'll be fine. All that his man did say in his comment, he thought Arrow was going to release it for a long while. Yeah, I got to be honest, I was hoping for it as well. It was pointing towards that. The way they've been headed, it would not have surprised me if they had. But I mean, this is honestly, this will get more eyes on the film, and in a tumultuous time for Asian cinema, I think that's probably a lot more important.
Also, I like this artwork a lot more than your Rico ones.
Absolutely,
like Chinese brushstroke. It looks great. Just fantastic.
Really highlights Jet Li. Yeah.
When's this coming out? November 16th.
16th, I think.
So that will probably be the 50% off sale.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. Never thought I would see Criterion releasing Once Upon a Time in China, but what a time to be alive.
Not to mention all 6. I could have easily seen them copying Eureka and just done the trilogy.
But yeah, they're doing 4 and 5 as well. I mean, 4 is the one I like the least. The first 2 are great. Yeah, Eric says he's definitely stoked for that one. But you want to talk about tonight's main topic?
Absolutely.
I think we're going to have very polarizing things to say about this movie. We're talking about Brotherhood of the Wolf. So, this movie's too fucking long. This is unnecessarily long. 2.5 hours. And it wasn't.
It is rather long. Yeah.
Like, I sat through The Irishman, thought that was fine, but there was just something about this movie that it felt like a chore to get through.
And this is a newer release, and for anybody that hasn't seen it, we probably will be discussing spoilers, just a heads up.
But it's also a 20-year-old film, so
it is a 20-year-old film. And it was fairly popular, especially for a French movie.
So is this an actual French production?
I believe so.
So again, my theory that France can't really do anything 100% good holds true. There are some really cool ideas in this movie. Some great ideas. But
I completely agree.
Now, before we get into negatives, what do you think are 3 positives?
What I think are 3 positives is that this movie has more genres stuffed into one movie than I've ever seen.
Yes.
This movie has the chairman from Iron Chef America kicking ass. And this movie has, to get serious after those first 2 that were semi-playful, honestly, some of the most beautiful set pieces I've ever seen for a movie. This movie looks incredible. And I can't imagine that this movie cost anything less than like $75 million to make, probably, if not more.
Do you think we can find that online?
I'm sure you could. I can probably find it while you're talking about your 3 things that you liked.
3 things I liked. Mark Dacascos in a thong. He looks amazing. Also, Monica Bellucci.
No thong, unfortunately.
No thong. She's not nude in that movie, is she? She's only in it for like a little. She's like only in it.
She is barely in it. So the budget listed on IMDb is only $29 million, which is shocking to me.
Huh. $29 million.
$29 million. But I mean, a lot of this, they filmed on location in France, so that's a lot of the money saved. However, they're using like legit castles, and the costume design alone for this movie had to be like a third of that budget.
The costume design is incredible, especially at first when you get the 2 main characters rolling up, and they're in those like I don't know what else to call them, but like Bloodborne. If you ever played that video game Bloodborne,
yep,
and the Bloodborne-esque outfits, and I was just like, oh my god, is this how it's going to be the whole time? And then they're never in those outfits again.
Right.
Like, I was like, fuck. Another positive is at the end fight, there is a chain whip sword made out of bone. I thought that
rather
was
cool,
super rad. I was like, all right. But the CG is so laughable. The scene where what's his name? Gregor is going out towards the end, and you see the monster in the background.
Yep.
The CG is so bad. It's so bad. It's not even a monster. It's a tiger. It's a lion with armor plating.
Right.
So, and this is based on a true story, right? This is like a thing
Correct.
that actually happened. And I kind of like the explanation, it was just like a guy had this lion and he raised it and put armor on it. But everything is in slow-mo.
Yep.
In this movie, which I feel like if they would have cut the slow-mo out, it wouldn't have been 2.5 hours. It would have been like an hour 45. Like,
well, and to touch on the first part, like, yes, the CG is bad, but not a lot, but there are quite a few scenes with the beast in this movie that they did practically. and they never show the entire thing practically. Obviously, they couldn't do that, but they'd show, where when the beast was in the bottom story of the house, and it was right up against the main female, and they shot from like the neck up, and it looked basically what they were going for with the green screen. It looked just like that, but it was great. The practical effects on it looked incredible. Now, obviously, you don't want to show everything in major close-ups and take all of that movement away like they're trying to do, but maybe you should have.
Now, I rewatched the fights, and I gotta say, the first fight is like so sloppily cut and edited, where where was it? Is it Gregor who's the main? No, it's Mark Dacascos who's the main badass, and then out of nowhere, Gregor can also do kung fu. Like, that's what people like. This movie is a kung fu movie.
Yes,
they're doing kung fu. I think the fight choreographer is a guy who worked in Hong Kong and worked on like I think he worked on the 5 Deadly Venoms.
Yeah.
So the fighting is great, but there's not that much, which sucks because most of it is a period piece. It is a drama, and they were trying to do so many things. Like when Gregor was sleeping and he keeps having nightmares of that woman killing him. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you're just doing too much.
Sylvia.
Who's your favorite female in the movie? Sylvia?
I mean, she was probably the most interesting, at least, but
she's in it for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, she was barely in it, and that's probably why, is they kept her very like mysterious. And speaking of mysterious, I want to highlight this comment. Don't know how to say that first word, but 29 here. He said the beast was interesting in the movie. It was like they were trying to do Jaws with a land animal, which has been done quite a few times. I'm not taking that away from that. It wasn't an original idea to do that, but they kind of went with that because I don't know if you were paying attention. They don't even show you a glimpse at the beast, and it was not even the actual beast. It was like a night vision view of the beast until after an hour into the film.
I kind of like that because the first thing you see in the movie is a girl getting slammed
against the rock
in slow-mo. And you're just like, ooh, man, this is a little gratuitous.
And especially in that scene, it became very obvious the Foley in this movie is intense. The sound they do in this movie is really well done.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things, but
yeah, the actual beast itself. So you see that night vision view at like 63 minutes into the film. You don't even see the actual beast until about 75, 78 minutes into the movie. It's crazy.
And the main actor didn't speak English. He had to learn English for this movie. Which I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
My favorite part though is when Mark Dacascos, who plays what's his name, Manny. He's fighting the other savages, and when they fight, they're like that and like doing that, and he just does
and
it.
He
back
mocks
and
them.
He gets his ass kicked, which I thought he got his ass kicked quick in that movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In that fight, I was like, what the fuck, really? A bunch of hillbillies took you out? Because that's basically what they were just hillbillies.
Right.
And the first time you see him, he doesn't kill, but he kicks a bunch of hillbillies' asses. And then later on, you see him and he just gets his ass whooped.
Oh, yeah.
No explanation why he gets naked. He just gets naked. He looks great, though. Mark Dacascos. Why was he never bigger?
I mean, when I mentioned it, he was known as Iron Chef. He was the chairman on the Iron Chef America. That's a big deal.
Mark Dacascos was? Really?
He is the guy that used to say it's fighting time or whatever they used to say. I don't even remember. I haven't watched the show in so long.
I had no idea.
He was the guy. They even showed him like backflip onto the set a few times.
Whoa.
Yeah. Mark Dacascos is the Iron Chef chairman for the USA.
Good for him. I'm sure that was a good payday.
Oh, and they still get tons of reruns. He's still getting paid for that.
I mean, I first saw him in Crying Freeman, and then of course John Wick. He's so good in John Wick. I just think he's a good actor. He's handsome. He's very athletic. I just don't know why he wasn't a bigger star. It feels like he should have been. Fucking.
And then the other big thing we talked about last time when we were talking about watching this is Irreversible's Vincent Cassel and Monica Bellucci together, and this is one of Vincent Cassel's first roles. And he even, I don't know if you read this on IMDb, he turned the role down and then they rewrote his part to make him creepier and have that incestuous vibe with his sister. And he was like, "All right, I'll do it."
That's a total French thing to say.
Yep,
Drive is a good Dacascos film.
that's true.
Really? Wait, Drive with Ryan Reynolds?
Also started Sanctuary.
Okay, I'm gonna add this to my watch list. But yeah, overall, I think I gave it a 3. Yeah, I gave it a 3 on Letterboxd. I said pretty rad, pretty long, because there's just could have done without half of that shit. All the politics that they were throwing in was
There was a
boring.
lot of it.
Just a lot of it. I also didn't like the conclusion very much. I would love. It feels very 2000s. Like this feels like This feels like everything that came after The Matrix.
It is prime 2000s.
I would love to see someone remake this. I think this could be really freaking cool if like.
Could you imagine with today's CGI?
Oh man, yes, an actual fucking creature.
Yeah.
It would look. That's the thing that like I literally audibly laughed when it showed the creature walking at night, and it just looks like a screensaver from 2003. I audibly laughed, but the pacing is what really kills it because the pacing is not good. Sanctuary plays the role of a priest.
I want to see that now.
I know Sanctuary. Wait, Sanctuary.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I haven't seen that either. But yeah, I think the pacing is what really kills it. If it was better paced, this movie could have been one of my new favorites because I loved everything else. But the pacing was just, oh my God. Too much time at the whorehouse too.
Yeah, there was a lot of time there.
Like, why? Like, okay, you got to get your dick wet, I guess. But.
So this is going to be very, it's going to sound very off when I'm saying this, but I actually gave this a 4 on Letterboxd. And the reason is because this movie, like I said, the most genres I've ever seen in any one movie, because you could literally call this a period piece, dramatic, romantic comedy,
I was about to say
horror, when animals attack, Kung Fu, and that was my last thing. I was going to say when animals attack, martial arts piece. And at the end of it, none of them are done great, but half of them are done better than most from that genre, and they're at least fun to watch. Now, unfortunately, there's still about 40 minutes of the movie that I really don't love. And I probably would have gone a 4.5 if they had cut out about a half hour of the fluff, but it was fun at least.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun movie, and by the cover, I would never have guessed that this was secretly a Kung Fu movie.
Exactly. There's no indication there.
Zero. Even the back cover. Like, that's what they look like when they're riding up for the first time, and they look so badass.
And if you've never seen it, this is the original poster, which is one of the worst cover arts I've ever seen for a movie like this.
That does not represent the movie at all.
It doesn't tell you anything about the movie.
Just cool dudes looking cool.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, like, the other positive, it's a very unique setting. It's a 1700 France. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but it's cool to get a glimpse into that world.
Right.
I would love to see this remade. I think this has so much potential to be great. But it's also got a guy named, without pronouncing it in French, Jeremy Renner. There's a guy named Jeremy Renner in this movie, and he's better than Jeremy Renner, American actor.
So, yeah, it depends on the movie. He's had a couple good ones.
He's really good in The Town.
Yep.
God, that movie
that's
better than Heat.
That's the era of Jeremy Renner that is better than any of his other eras so far.
Isn't he a weirdo? Doesn't he have his own app?
What you might be thinking of is he is a musician. He also has put out an album.
His band's not bad. He's a good singer. It's not terrible. It's not something I would listen to. But it's, it's very much like Monster Energy, Oakley sounding, music. Now, what do you want to watch next week?
That is a great question.
Do you want to watch this since we both have never seen it?
I can probably do that, yeah.
I think, yeah, let's actually do that because this looks very interesting. I forgot that it was a 4K. There's no indication except for right there that it's a 4K movie.
Is that on the spine of the slip at all?
No. No, there's no indication that it's a 4K movie. That's hilarious. I want to know what Vinegar Syndrome uses for their slips. They're so thick.
And other companies are starting to follow suit on those slips.
Yeah, I think this Arrow one is really super thick too. I mean, for an Arrow slip, it's not as thick as that, but you can tell right there, like where the crease is at. It's like a thicker slip case. It's got like a matte finish almost to it with that little embossed rose petals. This release rocks. Really nice release. I mean, I'm just liking the premium stuff. Like 88 Films did not have to do a hardbound case for Violent Professionals, but they did. And then nobody needed a 4K release of Deadlock. I didn't. Did you? Were you like, man, I hope it's 4K Deadlock?
No, but I'm glad we have it. And the only reason I'm saying that is because of how good Django looked. So I have hope that it's going to look anything like that.
Oh, this is a 2-disc set. What the hell?
Does it have the Blu-ray with it?
Yeah, it's got.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Man, I love the art. I love the whole layout of the.
Yeah.
That looks super nice, but.
Yeah, there you go. John Peters has watched it. He says it's great.
Whoa, what's going on, John? Yeah, that's the second person I've heard say it's great. Don't kind of like Discotheque Media's new slipcovers. Have you seen the? You don't collect the anime, but
no.
This is an old slipcover of theirs. The new ones are rounded on the edges.
Rounded.
They're rounded. I don't like them. Nobody likes them. I don't know why they chose to do that. Let's go on D-Flex. But yeah, we're going to talk about Deadlock next week. I think once a week we'll do a movie on top of our usual shooting the shit. But yeah, Brotherhood of the Wolf, would you recommend buying it?
It depends. If you are okay with other language movies, and oh man, that we didn't even mention it, but the subtitles on that, they were trash. How did you watch the English dub or did you watch the original French? So I watched the original French. I generally prefer that. It was bad. There was so many grammar errors. They were just flat out leaving words out. There were things my wife took, I think, 3 years of French, so she knew some, and she was like, "Wait, they didn't just say that." So,
well, watching it with English and then having the subtitles on, because I leave subtitles on for everything, it was kind of, I had to turn it off because it was distracting.
That's why I started with the English dub and I switched it to the French.
It's so bad. Now, did they redub the mouse for the English dub? Because they looked fine.
Oh yeah, it was not lined up at all.
Maybe I was just really fucking having a fever because I could not tell a difference. I thought it looked all right.
Yeah, it was actually in English or French. Sorry.
But yeah, I would say if you just want to see some cool kung fu, there's better options. I would say
there's better options, but also if you're into anything like fantastical, this really fits a lot of the bills, and it's a really good one. Like I said, there's more genres in that movie than in any other movie I probably have ever seen, and it will work very well for groups. That's the big thing, is pretty much everybody will find something that they like, but it's also 2.5 hours long.
Yep. It's really long. Like really.
Ooh, subtitle sync issue with Evil Dead Trap. That's not good.
Oh, really? There is?
Possibly.
Jeez.
At least that one is Unearthed Films and not Shout Factory.
That's my only, I think that's the second Shout Factory release I have in my collection. The Street Fighter collection is the only one I have. And I think that's fine. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting Six String Samurai now.
Interesting.
Because it looks like a movie I would love. It looks bonkers.
Have we ever gone over the VSU packaging from Vinegar Syndrome? Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I've had their
oh, that's right. You had Beastmaster.
The Beastmaster, which I was was it Sunday? We were cleaning the restaurant, and I found one of the replacement discs for Beastmaster, just on the floor, in perfect condition. I was like, all right,
Interesting.
I guess I have an extra copy of Beastmaster now, which is a good movie. Beastmaster is not my normal cup of tea, but it's like a pretty okay movie.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Is Champagne and Bullets any good?
No, that is one of those. Like if you want to go into it wanting to watch a movie like The Room and Tommy Wiseau,
Okay,
it is one man trying to fulfill his lifelong dream of having naked women surrounding him all the time, and it's not even. Yeah, I admire the hustle, but the Champagne and Bullets it's a lot more champagne than bullets, is what I will say.
so it's not good.
Well, it's mostly a romance movie, but it's actually like promoted as a heavy action film, and that's a very small part of it overall.
What was that one movie you were telling me about with the crazy action?
The crazy action.
Like the super low budget, crazy over the top indie movie with lots of blood and violence. I think it was Vinegar Syndrome that was putting it out, or Agfa maybe.
Are you talking about the samurai movie that Vinegar Syndrome announced for this month? It's one of their partner labels.
Wait, what? What's that?
Let me get a title so that you can look up a trailer and play it.
It's not a samurai movie. It was like a guy, and it was like a ripoff of like Commando or something. It was like a dude.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. It's called Commando Ninja.
Yes, I want to get that, which I might get alongside. That's not up for pre-order yet, is it?
Yes, it is.
What? Where?
On their site, Vinegar Syndrome.
I don't see it. Maybe I'm blind.
Click on partner labels at the top, and it'll be in the second row.
Oh, there we go. Yes, Commando Ninja.
And you can play like the first minute and a half of the trailer. There's nudity about a minute and a half or 2 minutes into it because it's a rather long trailer. It's like 3.5 minutes.
It's like the whole movie. It looks great.
Well, the whole movie is also available on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Oh, really?
Yes, put out by the company.
What is Golden Arm?
This is just going to turn into a Flip wants to buy all of the partner label releases from Vinegar Syndrome video.
It's weird that Shiva Baby is on there.
It is such a great movie. And John Peters, I completely agree with you. The VSAs are very hit or miss. Half of them are amazing and should have got a lot more attention, and the other half probably should not have ever had one copy sold.
So one of my favorite comedians who does a podcast called Come Town. I don't know if you ever heard of Come Town. He dated the lead in Shiva Baby, and he broke up with her because she wouldn't be in an open relationship. And I'm just going to show you what this man looks like. Look at that man. That's ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. When I found that out, I was like, really, Stav? Like, that's okay.
Shiva Baby was such a fun movie.
Is Walking the Edge any good?
Yes, very good.
What is that? Just like a crime movie?
Well, kind of. It's a little deeper than that, but the big thing is it's got Robert Forster, and he's always a freaking badass.
Yeah. Oh, they have Prospect in 4K. There's a lot of things I want on this. Huh. I should probably turn it off because I might.
And there goes your paycheck.
Yeah, and I need to not. But this is probably the only Vinegar thing I will be getting.
That's sad. There's so many other great things.
No, there's not.
Yes, there definitely is.
Did you see Kung Fu Bob is doing a Vinegar Syndrome release?
Yes, I am rather hopeful that they're doing something. Obviously, they're doing something Asian or samurai related at least, but hopefully it's something great that we've been wanting for a long time.
Oh, Shiva's on HBO Max?
It is.
Flip, are you going to get that movie Sword of Desperation? So, yeah, so Anamigo, which I did they were the highlight of the part one of my samurai films. they haven't put out a live action movie in a long time. They've been focusing on anime through Kickstarters. They're putting out a re-release of one of the only movies I did not have on DVD, on Blu-ray called Sword of Desperation. And on Twitter, the owner of Anamigo confirmed that this is a test to test the waters to see if there is still a market for these lesser-known samurai movies. So,
Interesting.
yes, I will be getting at least one copy of Sword of Desperation.
At least one.
Well, I might get two. But yeah, this would be their first Asian release, right? Or Asian-centric release for Vinegar Syndrome?
Yeah, I mean, you could say Six String Samurai is at least inspired by, but yeah, it would be the first one. There's a couple that have a lot of tendencies, like even Raw Force has some aspects of martial arts in it. But if you've never heard of Raw Force, you should watch that trailer. That is like the most Raw Force. It's like the most quintessential Vinegar Syndrome release, and it's so much fun.
Raw Force movie.
I cannot wait to watch this.
Which one?
Wild Search.
Wild Search? Oh, dude, it's so good. Raw Force looks ridiculous.
It really is.
It's on Shudder. Huh. So,
John Peter says he didn't like Raw Force, and Dustin says Jeremy's an excellent film as well. Man, Fun City Editions, I don't know if you paid attention to them. They're the ones that did Walking the Edge. Pretty much everything they've put out has been incredible.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They did, let's see, they did I Start Counting. They did Jeremy. They did Smile, Walking the Edge. They just put out Rancho Deluxe, and then they did Alphabet City was their first one.
Eric says he's enjoyed the Mexican horror that VS has released.
Yeah.
Now, like, I don't collect Vinegar Syndrome, but I'm always excited to see what they announce because they put so much effort into the most bizarre movies, like the straight-to-TV horror movie box set.
Yeah.
Seems so unnecessary for what that is, but ain't Scanner Cop on 4K?
No, not just Scanner Cop. Also Scanner Cop 2. Both are in 4K.
Now, I'm hoping maybe Subculture just sticks with like weird, bizarre Western movies.
Could be.
I really miss. I know we talked about this, but I miss like the hyper specific.
This is a huge poster for this release.
The same with the one-armed boxer poster.
That is a great set of art.
Cynthia the Rothrock right there. That looks like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Doesn't that look like JoJo's?
It looks like what's his name from Karate Kid in there.
It does. Cynthia, dude, people are saying that Kung Fu Bob art is Cynthia Rothrock's hair.
That would not surprise me at all because she's been doing a lot of interviews, and Vinegar Syndrome's put out a bunch of her stuff already.
So that's probably down the line though, because if he's just now starting it, it's probably next year.
Well, not necessarily. I wouldn't be surprised if that was. It theoretically could be one of the secret titles for the Black Friday sale. That way, they don't have to have them ship until November.
I'm really worried.
No, they wouldn't even ship until December.
I'm really worried about the rest of the year because my wallet's going to hurt. The rest of the year is fucking insane, like insane.
It really is.
I can't wait to see what Arrow announces for November. And then Eureka. Are they going to have a November lineup, or are they just going to do that box set because they teased it with the announcement? So,
well, not just teased; it's fully announced and orderable already.
Well, yeah. But like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't announce anything. Although I would think they would want to do at least one Masters of Cinema title.
Yeah, this year. I mean, this year's going to be hard to pick a favorite release. Like, I'm already like the Shaw set, the Joseph Kuo set. The Once Upon a Time in China set.
I just said this on another, don't remember what show it was on the other day, but I was talking to somebody else and I said the most difficult thing, it was talking to Aaron Pinn. At the end of this year, the most difficult thing is going to be all of these creators that we're going to have to sit down and talk about a top 10 because this has been like the banner year. And there's another thing. I mean, John Peters saying he's still waiting on his huge Severance sale order.
Christ.
I actually got mine, and I'm waiting to unbox it live when I do my show on Thursday. And the stuff that they've put out this year, Severin has had their best year ever, in my opinion, like by a long shot.
Now, for the end of the year, I want to have you, Aaron Pinn, and Brian on, because we did Aaron Pinn and Brian last year, and I think it'd be cool to have the four of us at least just do like a couple hour-long discussion about our favorite stuff this year. Top 10.
Easily.
Yeah, I thought last year was great, but my fucking God, this year is just insane. I like every time I'm like, oh, that's gonna be my favorite. Like I thought the Shaw set was gonna be the thing. I was like, there's nothing's gonna top that. It's not out yet, obviously, but I was like, there's no way nothing's gonna top that. And then Eureka comes in with the Joseph Quo set, and then now Criterion's got the Once Upon a Time in China set. It's just, this is especially to be an Asian film fan.
It is
and a Western
year.
fan, and a Western fan. Like we got the Major Dundee, we got the Vengeance Trails, we got weird shit.
Django
like
4K.
Django 4K. I forgot that was this year.
Django's come out in like 4 different years, to be fair.
I got it last year, and then I'm hoping this is a sign of more Asian cinema. I mean, more South Korean, but also like weird. This is the year of the Eurocrime too. Like all these premium editions. The Years of Lead set, the SKU is Years of Lead 1. So there's going to be a second one.
I sure hope so.
And then all the Cat 3 stuff from 88. It's just,
yes, man. I'm so glad more people talk about Mondo Macabro. Their titles, some of the stuff they've put out is just incredible. Like the fact that they released this on Blu-ray is just insane. Well, in the tradition of Japanese pink cinema comes this shocking, violent, and sex-filled movie that caused a sensation when it was screened at the Chicago Film Festival. The film stars former Miss Philippines, the stunning Maria Isabel Lopez, in her most revealing role ever. It's an eye-opening example of raw and savage filmmaking from one of its country's most innovative directors. Set on the beautiful and remote beaches of Yokos Norte, the story tells of three women and their struggle struggle to come to terms with their own sexuality against a backdrop of religious repression and male brutality. The film contains images of sex and violence that may disturb some viewers. And this shocked some people for a long time when they had it out on DVD. And Jared this year was just like, you know what? Let's put it out on Blu-ray. Because they found elements for it, and they're putting it out. But also, they're putting out, they announced no title yet, but they said, hopefully by the end of the year, we're announcing a 4K. And from Mondo Macabro, not of that, but of another title. But from Mondo Macabro, a company that small, able to do a 4K, that's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, now we can't really shit talk Criterion anymore.
Finally. Well, also, we haven't seen their end codes yet.
That's true. That's true. They could be terrible. Or maybe it's going to be amazing, and that's why all the Blu-rays have suffered.
And I'm hoping it is, but hey.
I mean, I'm just not excited about Citizen Kane. That movie's terrible.
It is the least exciting of the three for me, but I am still excited to be able to see it and see it in its highest quality. And I don't know.
Citizen Kane sucks.
I don't think it sucks. I do think it's overrated.
Yeah, definitely overrated. It's just, I don't know. Criterion fans, if cinema hasn't evolved since its near early conception, then is it really an art form worth enjoying?
Right.
Same with music. People are like, oh, the Beatles are the greatest band ever. The Beatles are all right.
Well, even the Beatles evolved many times.
They got worse and worse, and then Yoko Ono came in and made it even worse. Yeah, Mondo Macabre's doing Hiroku the Goblin. We just talked about this in our
Tsukamoto.
private.
Yeah.
Tsukamoto's getting a lot of love. There's one movie that's missing from a Region A release, I think, and it's his Planes of Fire movie. It's like World War II film. Zero says, as an anime fan, due to Neon Genesis Evangelion pre-order happening this Thursday, I'm going to have some bad news for you, my friend. The ending theme is not going to be on there. So I probably shouldn't say that, but have fun. Fans are going to freak out because that movie, I mean, that end theme song is like so crucial to the series, but they're releasing it with what's her name? I forgot. It's one of the other people's themes. Nightmare Detective out in Region A. No, well, yeah, there's a DVD, but they're on Blu-ray, and we never got Nightmare Detective 2. So I think their window releases Fires on the Plain. Yes, but that's Region B though. We're just missing for people who are Region A only. Which, by the way, if you're Region A only in 2021,
it's a problem.
what the fuck you doing?
But also, all the more reason to hype up 4K since it's all region free.
There are a couple of 4K discs that aren't region free.
There have been 4 that have been backdoor region locked, and they're not even actually region locked. They have been locked in a way that is not under the actual standard for 4K.
Which one are they?
There is one Shout title that had a backdoor region lock. I think it was one of their anime titles.
That would make sense because Japan's very particular about their anime releases. Oh yeah, and the fucking Toyota Set 2 coming. What's going on, Ice? That's going to be another big release of the year. I think third window is underappreciated. I think they're a great company. They're putting out great stuff, but they get overlooked quite a bit.
So the 4 4Ks that have come region locked, the Shout one was Weathering with You.
That makes sense, yeah.
And then the other 3 are Nordic releases, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. There is Death Wish, Greenland, and The Outpost. They were all region locked. But I'm sorry to say to the Norwegian everything over there, we are not going to Norway to get Death Wish on 4K. And it's not even the good Death Wish. It's the Bruce Willis remake. So
that's the best one, man. What are you talking about? That's weird that they region locked a format that's supposed to be not region locked.
Yeah, it's messed up.
What's on your shirt?
Waxwork Records.
That's what I thought it was.
Love that.
Very cool. I was hoping Unearthed Films would release Dr. Lamb this year, but I'm thinking late spring. What is Dr. Lamb? I'm
actually thinking it might even go into next summer there, John. They Unearthed Films has gotten away from themselves, it seems like, this year. Stephen Biro is the guy behind that label, and he has been filming the next American Guinea Pig movie and gotten away with time due to COVID and some of those things. And they're working on literally like 4 releases right now. One of them being the Serbian film documentary that they've been working on, supposedly. And that will also include the even longer, super extended, very uncut version of that movie, even though the first one that they put out was called the uncut version. So they have a lot in the pipeline. I'm hoping it soon too. But yeah, they are focusing on Cat 3 films, it feels like right now. They put out The Untold Story. That was great. And then they just did Evil Dead Trap. Got a couple more coming out too.
Now, how do you feel about Serbian film?
I think it has a lot more depth than people give it credit for, but I also think it is a fairly pointless movie.
I think if they would have taken the child fucking thing out of the movie, it would have been a great exploitation film.
Yes, but then hardly anybody would have talked about it because that's the only real identifying unique thing about it.
It's just so fucked up. It's like I've never been offended by a movie ever.
Yeah, it's hard to get past.
Even before being a dad, I saw that. I was like, no.
And that's, I got to be honest, I agree with John there. It is a masterpiece. There's so much that politically is said in that movie, but so much of it is just overblown because of that one sequence.
It's so horrific, though.
It is.
It's very horrible.
I still can't imagine how I did this, but the first time I watched a Serbian film, I fell asleep watching it, so I had to rewatch it.
Something wrong with you. And there's something wrong with John. Salo's great.
I don't know how, but I've lined up with John's
John,
taste in movies so much.
Is John on a list somewhere?
On a list of like cool people, sure.
That scene is all sound. I know. I definitely remember seeing it.
There's some visuals.
That's not good. That's just
one of our friends from the Facebook groups, he has held the actual rubber baby from that scene.
Who?
Spencer.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to message Spencer and say, "What the fuck, Spencer?"
I have a picture of him holding the baby, and I'd show it if I didn't want to, get his information out there. But yeah, I'd bring that up with him.
I'm gonna message Spencer right now. Actually,
he has gone to all kinds of like cons and stuff like that, and I believe he slept on the director's couch.
Why?
Just because he knew him, he was friends with him, something like that.
He's friends with him?
I believe so.
I just messaged him, a Serbian film, baby. You holding it? Spencer's a cool fucking dude.
He is.
Spencer's a good guy. I like that he posts like what movies he's making his girlfriend watch. And I'm gonna start doing that just so my friend's wife, my wife's friends are like, what the fuck kind of weirdo is her husband making her watch Lone Wolf and Cub again?
But then, my wife watches everything with me.
Yeah, well, there's some things my wife cannot stand. Like, she's over kung fu movies. Like, she's over it. Is Unearthed Films releasing a Ebola syndrome?
I think somebody is. I can't remember if it's Unearthed. God, John might know more about that than me at this point.
Spencer just wrote, yes, I have a picture of me holding it. Spencer's awesome. Most of the people in that group are fucking great.
I agree.
Matt's great. Who else is great? Is John in there?
Yes. I believe he still is. I know he was, and then he left a couple times.
John Peter. Let me see if you're on. We have.
Oh, not in that group. No, not that I know of.
Okay.
I was talking about the other John.
He went to the Serbian expedition and stayed at Biro's place even.
I don't think Ebola syndrome has been confirmed.
I would love Ebola syndrome. So what's the details on the Once Upon a Time in China set? 6 discs. Every movie has its own disc, and then one of the special features
massacre video, that might be it,
is Once Upon a Time in China
in
America. But why did they do that? Because they did that with Lone Wolf. They did Shogun Assassin as a special edition. The same with the Bruce Lee set. Game of Death 2 was a special feature. Why is that? Why don't they just straight up say, hey, this movie's in here?
Sadly, a lot of the time, it's literally due to licensing. They're not allowed to release it as a standalone title that gets like top bill, but they can include it in the contents. And there's some reason, something with like paying the stars from the top of the line, that they can't do that.
Oh, just a legal loophole.
Yes.
Well, that's dumb. So, what are you gonna watch this week? Do you have like a planned set of things you're gonna watch?
This week, I don't. Last week I did, and everything fell through except for Brotherhood of the Wolf because it took us 3 nights to watch it.
Spencer sent me the picture. He's holding it like an actual fucking baby.
Yep.
Holding it like an actual baby.
I did want to watch a couple more of my partner label releases this week from Vinegar Syndrome. Plus, I'm expecting, I believe, an Arrow delivery this week.
What are you getting?
I believe this is the week I'm supposed to get my big, I still don't have Vengeance Trails because I pre-ordered it with stuff that is not, had not streeted yet.
I forget. Vengeance Trails was out this year. Damn. Daimajin, I had already forgotten about Daimajin. Damn.
And those are things you raved about.
Daimajin and Vengeance Trailer, I think, are the 2 best things that they put out this year. And then Battle Royale 4K was this year. That was an obscene box set. I think I said that in my review. I said, this is unnecessary. There's no need to have 2 versions of this movie in 4K.
Yeah.
But hey, do you think we'll ever get more than 4K?
Not on home media, no.
You don't think so?
No. I think they could theoretically do a version of 8K that goes to cinemas, maybe, but I don't see them releasing anything for us to be able to play 8K in the home in any way.
In the future, we're gonna have an 8K player.
No, not commercially made for commoners to purchase. No, like rich people theoretically could, but I don't even see that happening really.
Because it doesn't even seem like 4K really caught on.
I mean, I'd
like people in our world,
yeah,
but like DVDs are still the best-selling thing overall.
Yes, but that's literally only because they're cheap. Anybody that is buying home media that is actually in it for quality, they know 4K, and literally every single TV is 4K now.
Yeah, I think that's what really was the deciding factor. Will 4K be the standard of most media on some movies if it doesn't really matter?
I would say so, except for I think there's a lot of education that has to go on there. There's a lot of people that don't know the difference between a 4K scan and a 4K disc still. And there's so many movies where we've lost the elements, or the original negative is gone and now we have an inner positive, and we can sort of do a 4K off of that, but sometimes it doesn't even make sense. So I don't know. We could theoretically put out upscales on all of these, but that's a tough one. Like I said, there's just a lot of education that has to take place.
Spencer just sent me a picture of he's, I guess, the director's new movie, King of Solomon. He's on the back of the box. You got a little excerpt from him. I was like, dude, you're awesome. He goes, I don't think I'm awesome. Probably not after watching that movie as many times as I have.
Yeah, that's Biro. That's the guy that runs Unearthed Films, the label.
He made Serbian films?
No, he had a hand in Serbian film somehow, and he's the one that did Song of Solomon, and then the first movie that Spencer talked about.
And is he a good person, or is he?
He's not bad as far as I'm aware.
Okay, he's not like his movie?
No.
Did you hear about Bob Dylan?
Oh, yeah. Which is really sad because it's literally the week that one of my favorite podcasts dropped a Bob Dylan episode where they ranked, they picked the top 7 Bob Dylan movies or Bob Dylan adjacent movies, Screen Drafts.
Okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch these. And then right after I listened to it, I was like, oh, that's a headline.
I just found out that the lead singer of Chelsea Grin is like a QAnon conspiracy theorist, anti-vax guy.
There's a lot of those out there.
It just made me really sad. Tons of movies don't even have Blu-ray releases, let alone 4K. So we're probably going to have to settle for lower quality for most titles, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think most will get 4K discs, unless we're talking in like the next 25 years. I think most of the time we're going to be getting Blu-ray discs for a lot of these, if anything.
Now, what's a movie that you hope Criterion re-releases in 4K? I really hope they start doing other shit besides re-releases, but
I got to be honest, I love me some Linklater. I would love to see the Before trilogy in 4K.
That would be awesome. I would love to see Throne of Blood in 4K.
For sure.
Seven Samurai, obviously. Yojimbo.
I got to throw out Blood Simple there again.
Yeah, that's on HBO Max, I think. I almost watched it the other night. I was like, oh shit, I should watch this.
Oh, you know what would be great in 4K with that black and white is Night of the Hunter.
Yes, that's a good movie. That's a good noir. I'm not a big noir guy, but that is a good movie. Do you think The Matrix 4K is the best version of that movie?
Yes, by a long shot.
Great. What's going on, Maddie?
What's going on, Maddie?
Maddie K, and the K stands for ketamine. Sallow in 4K. You can see that. You can see that shit-eating grin in 4K.
That shit is clear.
I can see the fiber. I just watched the first Mikogami movie, D-Flex. What'd you think? That's a good series. The first one is the worst out of the three, but it's still, I think that trilogy is awesome. I'm looking around, trying to decide what I'm going to watch tonight. Probably Deadlock. I don't know. It's kind of exciting having a 4K movie that I know absolutely nothing about.
What 4K player are you running?
PS5. I had one and I gave it to my parents when I got my. Well, I guess my region free player is 4K. I guess, yeah. So, but I usually just use the PS5.
Not bad, not bad.
I just watched. He went savage after his wife died. Yeah, he did. He really went ham. Yeah, dude. I love that we're, it's 2021. We're getting releases of movies I've never heard of in 4K. We're getting box sets of movies I would never thought we would get box sets of. It's just, you're right. This is the best year. I don't think this year is going to be topped.
See, I won't say that statement yet. I think it's a sad thing to be able to point out as fortunate for our hobby, but I think COVID really put a boon into home media. The fact that literally cinema was closed down and people were looking for things to watch. And I don't know if you've noticed, there are all kinds of articles coming out through common news sites talking about streaming fatigue. And there are people dropping streaming sites and literally going back to DVDs and stuff. Yeah. And with that, I mean, we talked, 3 or 4 weeks ago now about print runs being, blown up from 3,000 to now they're 9 or 10,000 on some of these limited edition releases. If this year was this great and they made more money than ever this year doing these releases, what's next year going to hold?
More Kung Fu, hopefully. I mean, it's got to be more Kung Fu. They got Shaw Set 2 coming out and more. Man. Hopefully. What do you think the next genre is going to be?
I mean, we got this year.
That makes sense, though.
Yes, but it's hard to top. That's what I'm getting at. This is such a huge stacked release.
What do you think the next genre is going to be, like the next craze?
Ooh.
Like everyone's going ham with Kung Fu. Eurocrime is getting a big push as well. What do you think the next wave is? Like the next, everyone's going to jump on it.
I would not be surprised if it turned into, especially with a lot of our generation's pushback on some of the anti-PC culture. And the difference between, I hate using these terms because I don't speak like this, but the difference between woke and understanding like proper philosophical discussion without being insulting to people. I could see something like 80s sex comedies and 90s erotic thrillers exploding.
Yeah. Like American Pie.
There's not...
box set. Including like all the like Graduation and all those terrible ones.
I'm more thinking like we just got that Studio Canal 4K release of Basic Instinct, stuff like that.
That's a movie. That is a movie. Let's answer some of these questions here. I would love an Asian horror wave, obviously. Yes,
absolutely.
I think South Korean, besides companies like Wellgo or Magnet, is very untapped. There's a ton of South Korean films that need to be released. Donnie Yen, the Criterion, Ip Man's already out in a nice 4K box set.
Wellgo has put so much money into Ip Man.
It's paid off. It's paid off. That's a good set. Guys, in your opinion, who has constantly released the best 4K transfers and best 4K packaging? Yeah,
Blue
I'm not
Underground
a fan of Blue
by
Underground.
a long shot.
Everyone raves about them.
Blue Underground has the best transfers. I won't say the best packaging necessarily because it's literally just a slipcover and a case. If you really want to go deep into packaging, we could talk about Vinegar Syndrome all day. We could talk about Arrow all day. But sadly, Blue Underground has them topped in transfers, even though nothing against Arrow and Vinegar Syndrome. They look amazing. But the Blue Underground releases, they are able to pull out something special that don't even make sense.
For me, I think Arrow, just from what I've bought in this year, Django, King of New York, Old Boy, Am I missing one? I think I'm missing one.
Pitch Black.
That was last year, but
Oh, that was last year. You're right.
But yeah,
I think King of New York was last year too.
wasn't. I thought that was January.
I think it was December.
Was it? Well, fuck. No, because December was Versus and Tremors.
Maybe it was even
only
earlier then.
Let me see.
November 2020.
Oh, okay. Battle Royale 4K. Those all right. We need a Grudge box set.
This is one I was going to bring up. We got the Ringu set. When do we get a Ju-On box set? When do we get like the original Pulse? When do we get all of those things in these limited edition packagings? Asian horror has so much untapped.
Yeah, they do. They do. I'm going to say samurai movies. I mean, that's a very flip on brand thing, but there is like even Tokyo Shock was releasing like television shows. They put out like the first season of the Zatoichi and the Lone Wolf and Cub shows. There's like I would love to see even if it's just DVD of the whole of like a whole collection of those, kind of like how they did with Gunsmoke. I think there's a lot of untapped potential in samurai movies. I think there's a lot of untapped potential still in Yakuza films, just like Dave, as I was saying it. Especially Kenji Fukasaku, we got pretty much the stuff that everyone knows about him, but there are so many, and then there's so many. I want to say like hidden gems in the Yakuza films. I'm gonna pull up my watch list because most of it is Yakuza films. The Gambler's Counterattack, a true story of the Private Ginza Police, which is supposed to be one of the most violent Yakuza films ever, directed by the same guy as the previous one, Junya Sato. There's just so many fucking incredible Yakuza films, Japanese films in general. But if I really hope also we are riding this long wave of Kung Fu films and we get more things like the Joseph Kuo box set, because that would be awesome. But yeah, this is an amazing year. Amazing year.
Flex asked if the Ringu set is worth picking up, and I will say absolutely yes. It is one of the Arrow box sets, I believe, where there is no difference between the limited edition and the standard edition except the book. So the standard edition, you can literally get it in one of their sales for like 25 pounds. And yeah, it's going to be amazing.
I will do a Yakuza guide once I finish the Samurai guide. I have one more left. One more video. And are you going to get the Yamau set?
I have already pre-ordered it.
Is that imprint?
Yes.
Damn.
It's expensive.
How much is it?
Let me pull up the actual price. The big thing to remember about imprint is that the prices stated are in Australian dollars, and the US dollar is weaker than the Australian dollar. So when you go to their site, it feels very, very overpriced no matter what you're looking at. But the shipping is still very expensive. Even for like a regular monthly release from them, if you get the bundle, it's like $40 shipping in Australian, which comes out to like 25 USD, which is better, but it's still a lot, obviously. But when you're getting 5 or 6 titles, that's not terrible. They do take a while to get here, but in Australian, that Yamu set is 200 Australian dollars. So it is a lot. If I go to convert that, it is
175.
Oh, it's less than that even, I believe.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
America, fuck yeah.
Why are there so many pop-up ads on a currency converter?
What region code is the mouse at? Is it region free?
A lot of them are. When you convert that to USD, it's 145.
Damn. Australia's dollar sucks. And our dollar is not the greatest either, so that's awesome.
They're not advertising the region coding of that set. A lot of imprint stuff has been region B, so you may want to pay attention to that. Yes, you can also pre-order off deep discount, and also Orbit has been getting most of the imprint releases as well. It does take a while to get them in. Usually it's about 2.5 to 3 weeks after release that they have them. So keep an eye out because they generally go fairly quick depending on the title. Imprints had a pretty damn great year too.
I ordered sorry, that's Umbrella. I was gonna say I ordered an imprint, but no, I've ordered 2 things from Umbrella. The monkey set, the television show. I want more stuff like that. That was a cool set. And then I ordered Gangs of London. Yeah, Gangs of London from Umbrella too. Ice has got the link to the deep discount one.
Yeah, and this is going to be kind of crazy to say here, but the deep discount link for that, it's priced at $170, and usually there's like a 10% off discount for deep discount. But I hate deep discount. There are so many things that they screw up with packaging. I don't think it's worth it. If you order straight from imprint, it's the exact same price with shipping.
You don't like deep discount?
No, they're trash. I've had so many things delivered, not so many, 3. I think I had bought from them about 5 times, and I think 3 out of the 5 came damaged.
Damn.
And I've also had one order canceled by them. But if you order direct from imprint, it's the same price. It's $170 shipped. And everything I've got direct from imprint has come in immaculate condition in a big box with tons of bubble wrap. Maddie, yes, I do plan on being there with Aaron. What was the question?
Who ordered anything from Stinky Tuna?
No, I do not go for bootlegs anymore.
They have a couple Netflix ones that I want, and I really want to do it, but yeah, you want to go and wrap it up? I'm going to go relax and watch Deadlock, or maybe Serbian film. I'll make my wife watch that. She would divorce me. That would be a deal breaker. She'd be like, "What the fuck?" Or I might go sleep because I don't know if you can tell. I feel awful.
You look wrecked. Stephen Kelly's asking me one last question there. He says, "Do you have I Come in Peace? If so, where did you find it?" If you're talking about Dolph Lundgren, I do have it. Search on Amazon under the title Dark Angel. It should come up. It's the same movie.
And then you got another one from Maddie. Will you be rating Bava with us later this week?
Yes, I do plan on being there with Aaron on Friday.
Cool. I got a funeral tomorrow. I totally forgot. I should probably go to bed.
Yeah.
This COVID vaccine has kicked my ass. And it did yours go in waves? Because I feel fine, and then I'll feel like shit again.
What's odd is everybody that I've talked to, what happened to you on that first vaccine is basically the same thing that happened on the second, but you got it worse. And the only thing I had with the first one was a ton of arm pain. I never even got tired from it.
My arm doesn't even hurt.
So I had real bad arm pain the first time and couldn't sleep. It was so bad. And the second time, I just did arm circles all day after I got it, and I was fine. I didn't have any problems.
Like the first one, my joints hurt, my body hurt really bad. My arm feels fine, even where they inject it. It doesn't hurt at all. So, I don't know. I took ibuprofen, which I read you shouldn't. I took it after because I woke up today with a migraine, and they were like, "Hey, we recommend not doing that." So, my heart feels
that's probably only if you are apt to blood clots or something like that, because ibuprofen is technically a blood thinner, I believe.
Oh shit! Well, fuck. I've never had a blood clot. Knock on wood. So
yeah, I'm sure you're fine. For anybody that's curious, I'll be live on my channel on Thursday night doing my weekly announcement show at 8 p.m. Central.
And I'll be watching you alone at the restaurant.
I'll be doing my Severn unboxing that night, and it's a pretty big box. I still have not even cut the seal on
it. Awesome. And we'll see you guys next week. We'll be talking about Deadlock and hopefully more announcements. The Arrow announcement should be next by the time we go live, right?
No, I think that'll be probably either next week or the week after, actually.
It's a week after. Yep. You're right. Well, anyways, guys, we love you all. Peace out.